Hey guys, so today I'm going to be showing you how to access the TCMPC. So the first thing you're going to want to do is go into the intranet, the AISD intranet. And once you're in the intranet, you're going to want to click Curriculum Central. So once you're on the Curriculum Central, there's two different ways you can access this. If you already have an account, scroll to the bottom and click the TCMPC login button. If you do not have an account, you're going to need to set up your account using the instructions right here. You will need a campus code that is unique to each campus. You can get that from either your instructional coach or your administrator. Once you have your account set up, you will just click the login button and log in using the username and password that you created. The second option is to go up here to where it says secondary or elementary core curriculum. I'm going to use secondary for our example purposes. And then you can go into any core subject. So I'm going to use Algebra 1. And in all of your core subjects, the login button for TCMPC will be right here on the right-hand side. Then you will log in with the same credentials you created. Once logged in, you can explore the curriculum by subject. So they are color coded down here at the bottom. This first purple one is for English Language Arts. Yellow is Spanish. We don't have anything there. For the red is going to be mathematics. Green is science. And the blue is social studies. For this example, I'm going to go ahead and click into mathematics and go down to the Algebra 1. This takes you to the page with the individual units for Algebra 1. Keep in mind, this looks the exact same for all the subjects, no matter which one you click in. Right here on the right where it says course components, these are some of the most common used documents that you can access here in TCMPC. Three specific ones I use most often are going to be the TEKS clarification document, the vertical alignment, and what we call the YAG, which is the year at a glance. So any unit you click into is going to have the same basic layout. This is the same for all grade levels and all contents. At the top, you're going to have your tabs where you can quick navigate to any of these sections, or you can just scroll. It'll get you to the same place. The first one's going to be your overview. You really should read your overview for each unit. It's going to give you a brief introduction. It's going to tell you what your students should come to you knowing. So what did they learn prior to this unit, whether that's from a different grade level or from a different unit within what you've been teaching. It's also going to tell you when and where they will use this after this unit, whether it is in another unit within your specific content, so within Algebra 1, or in a different grade level. Next, you have your misconceptions. We know students have misconceptions. This does the dirty work for you. Here are some of the most common misconceptions that you will see in this unit. Your vocabulary, content vocabulary, and related vocabulary. You have your PA bundles. So in your PA bundles, it has your TEKS organized, kind of chunked for you, 1, 2, 3, or step 1 and 2. So obviously you would start here with the TEKS 8.10a with adding and subtracting polynomials. So right here on the right, it tells you how to start introducing the topic. So if I keep scrolling down here, we'll get to the resource section. These are the same resources from the beginning, just a different way to access them. Here are all of your TEKS taught in alphabetical/numerical order. It also provides you your ELPs, your English Language Proficiency Standards. And then my last section I love is going to be the spiraling suggestions. So what should be spiraling pre and post of this unit and lesson. So now I'm going to go ahead and go back to that initial units page. Next, I'm going to click right here on the top left corner where it says resources. This is going to be additional resources you can find Not, you can also find these within each unit, but here you can go straight to whatever document it is you are looking for. At the bottom, you have it separated by one specifically geared towards Algebra 1 or whatever your content is. And then you have the ones that are general for K through high school math or what your content is. I'm going to click into the math resources K through high school. So on here, you'll find the graphing calculator support if you teach anything above 8th grade. You have the digital manipulatives slide by grade level. The Google slide deck is an amazing digital tool for your manipulatives if you don't have those hands-on things in the classroom. And then you have your purposeful planning documents. So going back one page, I'm going to go and click the math resources specifically for my content, which would be Algebra 1. And again, this is the same for all contents. These are going to be content-specific resources, such as your backwards design document, your STAR resources. If you click inside, that is where you're going to find everything STAR related. Your STAR analysis, your STAR blueprint. Your blueprint contains things like the percentage items, your STAR analysis is going to tell you every single question, what TEKS is related to, the correct answer, how you get the correct answer, and how a student could possibly get every single wrong answer. So if you want more information on that, there is another course that goes into each of these documents individually, but this folder right here is going to be everything STAR. When you are in either one of these tabs, whether it's the Algebra 1 resources or the K through high school resources, you can click this button right here where it says list view, and you can change your list view to a tabbed view. So if you're familiar with your Google Drive or you're anything like me, I need the visuals. So this is a good way to have it organized to where you may not remember exactly what the name of that resource was called, but maybe if you could just see a little snippet, it would be easier for you to find here. And so you can turn that on or off. So I am going to click into each of these individually. So here's your STAR reference materials. Again, the same across different contents. This is where you would access any reference materials for science or any other math subject. You can print this off and make copies of this. Here is your general STAR analysis. So this is the one that is organized by unit. So you can find all the SEs tested for that specific unit and all the release STAR questions that are specific to those units and the way that standard is tested. Then you have the STAR analysis by SE. This is where you can pull these specific standard or TEKS and have all of the release STAR questions for that specific TEK. And then you have the general STAR analysis. So the general STAR analysis is going to contain all of your release STAR questions from 2016 to 2024 and give you that in-depth explanation for any question. Here is your enhanced blueprint. Your enhanced blueprint is basically a layout of how many questions for each category are on the STAR test, and then the amount of points each category is worth. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to the home page. So you can also favorite whatever your specific content is or multiple contents here on the right hand side by just hitting the STAR button on the first page. And that makes it easy access for you to get back to instead of having to sort through the TCMPC every time you log in. So remember that the layout and the location of these resources are consistent across subjects and grade levels. So I really encourage you to explore each section. The resources may differ slightly in contents depending on the subject, but the tabs and navigations do remain the same. There are additional courses available that go into a deeper understanding of each of those individual resources if you're not quite sure how to use it or what exactly is provided inside of that resource. So please check those out if you need more in-depth tutorial for each resource individually. But that is how you access your TCMPC.